Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dhamma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dhamma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamanaye Swaha. Sanya Joda Soye Shomamna Chajo Madhu Dani Gyatsoshi Gani Jinso Gibe Sonam Gye Joda Venche Sangye Jupasho Sanya Joda Soye Shomamna Chajo Madhu Dani Gyatsoshi Gani Jinso Gibe Sonam Gye Joda Venche Sangye Jupasho Sangye Joda Soye Shomamna Chajo Madhu Dani Gyatsoshi Dagi Jinso Gibe Sonam Gye Jola Venche Sangye Jupasho. I go for refuge and turn my attention to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My inclinations to practice of beauty and so forth, and I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my attention to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My inclinations to practice of beauty and so forth, and I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn my attention to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My accumulations of practice of healing and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Okay, yesterday we did the Bodhicitta second method, recognizing the existence of others, which has 9 steps. And I hope the 9 steps are on fingertips. What was the first step? Equalize 7 others. Course number 2,
thinking of demerits in the church itself.
reflecting the demerits of church oneself. Number 3,
Reflecting the demerits of others.
reflecting the demerits of church and others. Reflect on the demerits of church and others. Number 4, taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Number 5, giving happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. Verse number 6, actual exchange of self with others. Verse number 7, special recognition of kindness to others. Verse number 8, altruism. Number 9. Very good, thank you. Okay. Step 1 is equalizing self and others, which we did yesterday. And now it's reflecting on the number 2, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Number one meaning the reflection on demerits of cherishing oneself. So there, today we see that cherishing oneself. With this, our negative emotions become very strong because we have to live in a society where you are not the only person, where we're heavily dependent on the others. The more you cherish, and then there's a clash with others happening. So the clash, then you are the certain attitude, the mental agitation arises. And the mental agitation, and for small reasons, you can easily be greatly agitated, And this agitation, if it is for a prolonged period of time, can go into depression, and also can be a health hazard, and can destroy your immune system. The moment the immune system is gone, finish. The quality of life goes down. The moment the immune system is gone, your health goes down automatically. So it's very important that even for the very short term, the thinking, even for the short term benefit, even the immediate benefit, we see that cherishing oneself is so harmful to your body. And we take good food. When you go to some other foreign countries, we take care of what water to drink and so forth. It's all because we take care of the health. And then with the immune system gone down, no point. No matter how much you take care of the health, when the immune system goes down, you can become sick for any small reasons. So even for that purpose, to maintain the immune system well, the self-centered attitude. We should just see how to get into the self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude is so destructive, it simply consumes your immune system. And where the self-centered attitude is less, you become a happier person. Just try this. And how to try this? Of course, we'll follow the steps. Try this and you see that you become a very happier person and your life becomes very easy. Life becomes very easy, you become a happier person, the glow comes to your face, and then the whole immune system builds up. When the immune system is very strong, so you eat anything, you don't get affected. You don't get affected. Whereas when the immune system is down, you even some healthy things from another country, it makes you sick. Okay, so this is one thing that we need to keep in mind. For example, let's say, scientifically speaking, this is what I'm saying now is from the point of view of the contemporary science. Scientifically speaking, the self-centered attitude, more you feel the corrosion. With the self-centered attitude, corrosion, the feeling of corrosiveness is more. With the corrosive feeling, instantly the immune system is consumed. So this is one thing that we need to seriously think about, number one. And then of course we see that with the more self-centered we are, the less number of friends we have. And particularly less number of good friends. Friends, there are many kinds of friends. Friends of money, friends of your youth, then friends of, and they say the good, bad habits. There are so many friends. And the friends of money, your money is gone, your friends will disappear. Then the friends of power, when your power is gone, your friends disappear. Friends of youth, when you are young, energetic, agile, there are many friends. The moment your youth is gone, friends are gone. You become sick, and then physically becoming quite stably weak, friends are gone. So these are all unreliable friends. The real friends will come to you more in number when the self-centered attitude is less. So the more friends, naturally we are social animals. For example, say nowadays what's that? The WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, there is what? Like. People just advertise this, please put the button like. What is this? Which means that I like, there's more number of people liking me, you're happy with this. And less number of people liking you, you feel sad. Which means that we naturally, this is the tendency for us. We need people to love us. If you really want people to love us, love you, don't wait till the people come to love you. You have to make it happen. How initiate from your side. So just discard the self-centered attitude, automatically people love you. And people who come to you, they become very genuine people who come to you. So because the more the superficial ones, they come to sense your genuineness and your purity, then either they surrender to you or they will run away from you. And good people, they will come to you. So these are all the realities that we need to think of. And with the self-centered attitude, it can really kill us. It can really destroy us. And in your own life, the examples that you have in your life, we bring these examples, what you've seen, what you've read, what you experience with yourself, with your family. Bring them in your meditation. And as I mentioned earlier, for the Bodhicitta retreat, Bodhicitta practice, you can be as creator. For the emptiness meditation, don't be too creative, follow the steps and follow the precise reasonings, very standard reasons. Whereas for the Bodhicitta practice, you can be as creative, bring all these the realities that you encounter in your life in your meditation. Okay, I remember one time, it was 7 years ago, perhaps 4 years ago, in Delhi. What happened? Just at the moment we have a sane state of mind, and because of which we can be the proper person, we can be the right person to check when things went wrong. Okay, what happened was that there was a young boy, maybe age 20 or 21, and he was with his mother, and his bike was stopped on the roadside, and the bus, it happened to just strike the bike a little bit and scratched. And the boy came to the side and he saw that his bike was scratched. He became so angry. Just imagine. He became so angry. What? My bike was scratched by this bus driver. Such a terrible bus driver. Okay, what he did? Then he started to fight with the bus driver. Then he started to beat the bus driver, and then unfortunately, the mother also got in there and asked the son to beat more. Unluckily, unfortunately. Then finally, the bus driver was killed, and it came on the newspaper. This is a real story. Okay, so when a mind is sane, when a mind is calm, then you say that no, that spontaneous arises in us. Whereas when a mind go crazy, like this boy, like the mother of this boy, if two of them, their mind is very calm, peaceful, they will never do that. They will not kill the person. Okay, now see. Just tell me. Why do you think? So, what do you think he was intending to do by beating the bus driver? What was he trying to do? Okay, angry, that's different matter. So he likes to teach a lesson to the bus driver for doing something nasty bad to his to the motorcycle. And then finally, what happened? And he was not expecting to go to prison. That he could not see that. He could only see what? That this driver damaged my motorbike. He could only see that. He could not see that he was going to prison if he does something. He couldn't see that. Then finally, everything happened, and the son, boy, along with the mother, both were taken to prison. They were imprisoned. Now just imagine. Say, if you were to really teach a lesson to that person, when he was sane, when he was not carried away by the anger or the ego, if you tell him that say your bike, if damaged, what will you do? Will you prefer to do something that you go to prison, or do something whereby the bike is problem is fixed, and that you are safe from going to prison? What will you do? For sure, I will not go to prison, and I will not take my mother to prison. This would be the response. But finally he took his mother to the prison. He himself went to the prison, And his mother also in the prison. Why? Why? Purely because of ego and anger. Whereas if he had known this before, that if I do this, if the driver dies, then he will have to go to prison. If he knows that, he will not even touch the driver. Right? And then look, his bike was damaged. It will cost him like, say, the Indian rupees at the most 10,000. At the most 10,000. I don't know what is 10,000 in euro.
100 euros.
About 100 euros. 100 euros. Just imagine. 100 euros, and then with meant to save the 100 euros, he just ended up in the prison. Which means that if he's going to job, if he has a job, now he's going to lose his job, which means that he's going to lose like lakhs of rupees. 100 times the money, otherwise the small amount of money will fix his bike. Now he's going to lose all this. Now he is going to lose his job. Guaranteed. So look, what makes the person so blind of not seeing the reality? And his one is just like 100 euros. And the bus driver has a wife, children. They have lost thousands and thousands of euros. And you yourself have lost thousands and thousands of euros. And then you will be seen as a murderer all your life. Nobody is going to take you give you a job. So you have lost everything. What made him lose all these things? That agent which made him lose all these things for himself and for the bus driver's family and also for. So that is so vicious. What is that? Ego and anger. Ego and anger. So this ego and anger, when the anger came to this young boy's mind, it came as the strength. No doubt. It gave him such a strength to fight, to beat him, knowing that he is going to collapse, and still he was beating. Which means that this anger came as a great, great strength. What strength? A very stupid strength. Strength to eventually destroy himself and his mother. This is the job of the anger. What made this anger come about? Arise because of the self-centered attitude. Not at all thinking about the driver and the driver's family. Just think about the self. My bike. What my bike? Just which can easily be fixed with 100 euros. So with this, look, all the destructions, you lost that amount of money. You lost all your esteem. Then nobody in the community will always see you as a murderer. Do you want this? You don't want this. Even your mother will also not want this. But then why did you do that? Why did you end up doing this? No one is to be blamed, only the self-centered attitude. But the self-centered attitude is so intense, such a destruction can be brought to us. For us, oftentimes, so in a family, we live in a family, and then so self-centered, and then you want the whole family to pay attention to you, and it does not happen. And then you become so angry. Why my parents, my children, this husband, my wife, they are totally obsessed with their own thing, not really giving attention to me. And then you become so down and go to depression. These are all self-created, unnecessarily self-created. And to speak very honestly, it's not you. Your true nature is so pure. Only thing is that you fail to see your true nature. It is your self-centered attitude. It is not you. It is your self-centered attitude. Oftentimes, because that people don't meet with such a teaching on Bodhicitta, so they could not differentiate between my self-centered attitude and me. This you, this self is so precious. This self-centered attitude is the one which is devil. You eradicate this and you are such a pure soul. You are such a pure being. This is reality. So self-centered attitude, even in the family, so the moment something is not happening to you, you become very angry. Why not me? Why am I isolated? Why am I alienated? So all this thought comes to be simply because of this self-centered attitude. And it's not you, it is mine. It is your self-centered attitude. And our job is to separate this from you. Separate this from you, your mind will be very happy. Your mind will be very happy. Okay, so for that matter, we need to learn how to separate the self-centered attitude and yourself. Yourself, your true nature is so pure. And oftentimes people, what they do is that, first, the self-centered attitude boosts the ego, and then the ego then gives rise to the anger, and then all the destructive things happen. Once the destructions happen, then you regret. When you regret, you go to the other extreme. I'm hopeless. You are not hopeless. Your self-centered attitude is the one who makes you hopeless. You are not hopeless. And I'm not good at anything. I'm good at nothing. I'm just nothing. I'm just a stupid person. Then, say the moment you say that, I am nothing. I hate myself. The moment you say this is the greatest failure. Nobody can fail you. Your true nature is so pure. Your true nature is so pure. Your true nature full of love, full of compassion, full of understanding, full of wisdom. But why you're behaving very differently is because that you are accompanied with the alien, very different, the companion who you see as a very good friend. In actuality, is the demon in the facade of a friend. So just say, what does it mean by demon? Demon is someone who destroys you. On this earth, who is there to destroy you more than your self-centered attitude? More than your ego. So ego, your self-centered attitude, this is the one which destroys you the most. So, in other words, sometimes we see that the people, first of all, they get deep into self-centered attitude, ego, and then constantly fight with other people. Even with your very loving mother, very loving father, with your loving children, with your loving brother, with your loving sister. First you fight with them. And then you realize that yes, something is wrong with me. Then you go to the other extreme. I'm the failure. I'm no one, I'm failure, I hate myself. Okay, you don't have to hate yourself. You are so precious. However incompetent you think you are not incompetent. You are not incompetent. Nobody can fail you. It is only you who can fail you. The moment you say, I hate myself, this is the greatest failure. Nobody can fail you. So if you really want to hate somebody, hate the self-centered attitude. Your true nature is so pure. Your true nature is so pure. Hate the self-centered attitude. Discount this and believe it or not, your life will be very easy. Your life will be very happy, calm, easy. And everything is beautiful. The way we described earlier. Everything will be seen as so beautiful. Okay, so this one thing. And then from the point of view of the karmic consequences, let's say the same. What we want is we want good health. We want good health. Good health, we want longevity and so forth. Longevity, okay, let's say, the wealth. We don't want to suffer poverty. Wealth, of course, is a result of the generosity. And as long as we don't engage in the practice of generosity, we can't expect wealth. We can't expect to not to suffer from poverty. So what stops us from the practice of generosity? It's because of the stinginess. What makes us to be too stingy? Because of this self-centered attitude. So look, because of self-centered attitude, it stops you from engaging in the generosity, which stops you from experiencing the wealth and thus suffer the poverty. This is natural. And then say the aggressive mental states, engaging in the negativities, for example, like say 10 non-virtuous actions and so forth. So with these, the result is the unfavorable births. And when you take birth there, the short lines and so forth, all these are because of the not refraining from the harming others. So the practice of the morality of refraining from harming others, for example, like engage in the 10 virtuous actions. If you don't do that, then we suffer. So what made us not refrain from the non-virtuous actions? Non-virtuous actions primarily into the aggressions, like the 10 non-virtuous actions. You see there, it's aggression towards others, harming others. What stops us? What it pushes us to go into harming others? Again, the self-centered attitude, like the way I explained earlier, this point, self-centered attitude. So look, the self-centered attitude again pushes us into one stinginess, very attached to something, and then the aggression towards others. That then engages you in the acts of harming others, immorality. So this will make you to suffer terribly in the future lifetimes. Then the patience.
I have a question regarding the stinginess and generosity.
Okay, first let's finish this. Then the next is the practice of the patience. The patience, in some people we see that, for example, say my teacher, Venerable Geshe Damdul, just from distance, when we see him, you can see a glow in him, natural glow. So this glow is because of the practice of patience, natural glow. Somebody just standing out in the public. When you see him separately in the hermitage, he was just a simple monk. When you see him in group, you just see him just standing out. There's a glow there. This is because of the practice of patience. But what makes us not be patient? Again, self-centered attitude, ego, self-centered attitude. And then the practice of the enthusiasm. Practice of enthusiasm gives us the sense of the elegance. One is the radiance, the glow, and the other one is elegance. And again, what makes you not to have the elegance is because of not practicing the enthusiasm. And enthusiasm, what's the opposite of enthusiasm? Laziness. Laziness in helping others, laziness and doing good things. So why? Again, it's because of the self-centered attitude. So we see that this is how the self-centered attitude brings all the destructions, attracts all the destructions, whether in this life or in the future lives. So with this, the more we think about the demerits of cherishing the oneself, the more we see that self-centered attitude is really a demon. It is really a demon. By no means it is helping me in any ways. Okay, this is what we have to really reflect more. And then from your own life experience, what you've read, what you've seen in your own life, just bring them in your meditation. Bring in your analytical meditation. Okay, this is we have to really think more about this, reflect more on these points, and then particularly make it so alive. Make it so alive how even any feeling of unhappiness within us, any feeling, even a tinge of unhappiness comes in us, somehow that is related to self-grasping, ignorance, and self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude say any feeling of unhappiness is there. For example, somebody, let's say somebody uses harsh words against you, and you feel hurt. Conventionally, we'll say that, oh, it's not your mistake. It's not a mistake, it's the mistake of the other person. But in actuality, the fact that you feel hurt is that's the self-centered attitude. If the self-centered attitude is not there, you will not feel hurt. Again, do you want the hurt or not? Do you want the feeling of hurt? You don't want the feeling of hurt. And what brings this feeling of hurt? That person. Yes, that's true. Don't say that it's purely internal. It's both. Like the sound of a clam. Like the sound of a clam, it's both. External factors are responsible for the hurt. Internal factors are responsible for the hurt. External factor is there, and if the internal factor, self-centered attitude, is not there, you will not feel the hurt. Say, for example, if the child, young child, 2 years old child, 3 years old child, When the child, very young one, when the child tells a very abusive word towards the mother will not feel hurt. Generally speaking, most mothers will not feel hurt. It's just a small child. And the child may say the same thing to somebody else. And the mother will be a little cautious to make sure that the other person doesn't feel hurt. So this is just a small child. He can say anything, she can say anything. Okay, so that way the mother will not feel hurt. Because the mothers say the possibility of the anger or ego pertaining to the child is so less. Pertaining to one's own child is so less. And when the child grows a little bit, age 14, 15, 16, then the child is also quite strong, self-sufficient, and then try to challenge the mother, and then the mother feels the hurt very strong. Whereas when the child is very young, well, the child doesn't know anything. So this is how it works. So the point is that all what we've seen, what we've experienced, what we've read, and particularly which is so real in your life, bring them in your meditation. That will be very helpful. Okay. In other words, the point is that self-centered attitude. As long as it is there, our mind will never be free from pains. To experience pain, we need two things. Preceding causes are there. Along with that, immediately we need two things. Self-grasping ignorance is required. Self-centered attitude is required. These two things are not there, you will not feel the pain. So the fact that you feel pain means nobody wants the pain. Or again, I'm reiterating this. External factors are there for your pain. And oftentimes it can be the external factors, predominantly because of external factors. But the internal factors, for example, say somebody says, let's say, where are you going? And then they say, why? What is your business? Why he is doing like this? And it's just small things that is so big. And then start fighting with the person. I think the aeroplane from where? I think from Italy to France, I think. There was one girl who was just complaining to the steward. Something happened, the steward was trying to console. Just nothing, just making the mountain out of blue, out of mold. So this is, the point is that, so with this, the external factors are there, and oftentimes we may just create problems out of nowhere, all because of the ego and the self-centered attitude. And otherwise, it is not a mistake, conventionally speaking. It is a mistake, somebody else just try to bully you, or try to take advantage of you, and then you feel hurt. The point is, okay, what the other person does is one thing. This is one thing. I'm not saying that it's purely internal. External factors are there, no doubt. Internal factors are there. Finally, your job is that you don't feel the hurt, you don't feel the pain. This is your job. If you really don't want to feel the pain, external factors are there. Take care to make sure that you are away from the external factors to the best you can. But external factors, you cannot get rid of the external factors completely. Do you agree with me or not? External factors, we cannot get rid of them completely. External factors. Okay. But it's not that, okay, external factors, we cannot get rid of them completely, so therefore I will work on the internal. Yes, that's good. But then be very realistic. The Buddha's teachings is very realistic. Be very realistic. For example, the well. What is well? It is your internal thinking. No. The Buddha is very realistic. While the Buddha is the champion of the teacher of how to focus on the internal well. But the Buddha said that that don't waste external wealth unnecessarily. This is what the Buddha advised. For example, say for one of the rules for the monastics was that in the night, unless until there's a reason, we're not supposed to sleep with the lights on. In those days, no electricity light, but the lamp light, oil lamp light. So because you are sleeping, you don't need light, you don't have to see anything. So this oil is just totally going waste. So Buddha is so particular, making sure that the external resources are not wasted, not put to waste. Okay. Another point was that at one point, Ananda, the Buddha's attendant, chief attendant, when he was going along the river, he saw a stack of jewelries, and this jewelry, he could see that the river may wash away the jewelries. So he was in dilemma. What do you do now? The Buddha advised the monastics not to touch the jewelries, gold, silver, and so forth. On the other hand, this is going to be wasted. The Buddha also advised us not to waste the resources. So this resource is going to be wasted. It's going to wash away. Somebody's going to lose this. So what did he do? Then he just visualized the Buddha, and what if the Tathagata is next to me? What advice will he give? He will surely ask me to pick this up and put it in a safe place. Then he put it on the safe place. And the matter was reported to Buddha. Oh, he touched the gold. Then the Buddha asked Ananda, did you do it? Yes, sir. And why did you do it? Then he narrated the whole story. Then the Buddha said that Ananda read my mind. Which means that the Buddha is very concerned not to waste the material resources. What resources that we have is not that okay, we have to accumulate wealth. This is not the point. The point is what the natural resources the world has, keep them as they are. Don't destroy them. What do you have? Keep them, don't destroy them excessively. In other words, simply because it is your wealth doesn't mean that you have the right to use everything. The Buddha is talking about the future generation also. So realistic. So what I'm saying is that we should be very, very, very realistic. Don't say that it is purely internal. External factors also there. Try your best. Make sure that, do your best to make sure that external factors don't come on the way to making problem on you. One, take care of that. And then the lasting solution is to take care of the internal factors. What are the internal factors? Self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. And in this connection, it is the self-centered attitude that we are talking about. So self-centered attitude, it is so destructive in many ways. It gives us a very evident problems, and even those problems which we consider as, this is not my fault at all, is the other side. Yes, but if you feel the hurt, if you feel the pain, that the moment the pain is felt, self-centered attitude is there. So this says, look, self-centered attitude has been so vicious. When the self-centered attitude arises, it gives us the feeling as though it is like your God. It is like the best of the protection. It gives you strength. No, this is the one which attracts all the suffering. And experientially, let's say that, okay, let's say somebody wants to make a note, and in my absence, the person took my book and wrote something there. Because the person was desperate, not finding a paper, you say. And then I come here, and I saw somebody's used my book. How to respond to this? Right? Two responses. One, how dare somebody touch my book? How dare somebody touch my book? Right? Is it a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling? Right? Don't think about the reaction. Don't think about the fairness. What we call fairness, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Right? Okay, we can do that later. Keep that aside for time being. Finally, what we did. Somebody use the book or not use the book. Finally, I don't want the pain. I don't want this irritation. I don't want this the unhappiness within me. This is the. Let us not forget that. Often we forget the main point, and then we grab to the secondary points, and then you end up in the making problems. For example, like the story of this one, say a fruit seller, the whole basket full of fruits, and one naughty boy picks up steal one fruit, which is the boy, and the rest of the fruits also stolen by the other boys. Right? So we are so obsessed with this boy stole one, and then you forgot the rest of the fruits, you chase this boy, and you lose the rest of the fruits. This is so unwise. So we forget the bigger thing and we grab to the smaller one and lose the bigger one. This is what makes us do that, is the self-centered attitude. The ego. That makes us to make this. And there are times when the boy steals one fruit, then your ego, how dare he steals this? The ego arises, right? And then even if somebody takes away all the fruits, you don't care. You're so worried and so angry over losing one fruit. Now you're not angry over losing the other fruits. Stupid. If anger should arise with one, then anger should arise 100 to fruit, 100 anger should arise. Look, this is how our self-centered attitude is so unwise. Makes you blind to see the reality. So the point is, let's say this book, somebody uses this, how you reacted? Okay, I thought that nobody, okay, let's say, how dare somebody touch my book? Then the ego, then make it so big, then go to the director of the Kalachakra Center, right? Somebody touched my book, how dare, you did not even make the announcement to the, there must be a rule there, what rule is there? Then the Kalachakra Center directs the problem. I will sue you to the court, there's no rule in this center, right? Somebody touching it, there's no rule, regulation. But somebody touch a book, somebody will be very happy to give you 10 books. Right? Very happy to give you 10 books. Right? So just why should you have to make big things, small things so big? Simply because of the ego. Simply because of the self-centered attitude. Whereas look, the same thing, if somebody wrote something on this, right? Particularly if it is about emptiness or bodhicitta, right? Wow, I'm so lucky. I thought that nobody wants to talk to me, right? Somebody so lucky and caring. I wrote Bodhicitta there, so auspicious. Look, Bodhicitta. No, believe it or not, Bodhicitta written there. Wow, it's so beautiful. Who wrote it? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful. No, finish, no problem. It makes you happy. If it makes everybody happy. The person who wrote it makes him or herself so happy. Or in future, I should write Bodhicitta in other places. Right? Bodhicitta in other places. Then the person's, the seed of Bodhicitta activated. Your seed of Bodhicitta activated. Everybody feels this Bodhicitta activated. Not only that, because you react so positively, everybody learns. I see, I thought that she is going to react so badly, but she makes everybody laugh. She makes everybody so happy. Okay, this is how I should treat in the future also. If something happens to me like this, I should not fight, I should not complain. I should make it very calm, peaceful, happy. Wow, I learned a great lesson from this girl. I learned a great lesson from this boy. No. So this is, what makes life so beautiful, so easy. What happened? Just one page. If it is really dirty, it's one page. And anyways, you are not going to read it again, I know. Because last time you made all the notes. Last year, the whole book is lying there, I know. The whole book. Right? The rejection of the 7 modes, all these were there. And I asked you to talk. You said, no, not last year. So for sure, this book. Even I doubt I'm going to go through this book again. I doubt. So therefore, the point is, Well, it just is about the thinking. And the one thing that I'd like to also share with you, another thing that I'd like to share with you is that one, try to transcend the ordinary people's thinking, number one. Number two, try to transcend the cultural way of thinking. Cultural way of thinking. Meaning that, okay, if somebody says, oh, my privacy, nowadays in the what do you call it? In the modern world, the privacy, this is so unnecessary, problematic, right? Privacy, how dare somebody touch me? This is so cultural, this is so societal, right? Particular society, cultural, societal. And then, transcend the ordinary people's thinking, right? Of course somebody touch, how dare somebody touch this? These ordinary people will say, yes, how dare somebody touch you? I'll check. You tell me, how to work. This is ordinary people's thinking. Finally, your thinking is a wise thinking. Finally, let us not forget this. Two main premises of your life. Two main premises of your life. Be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Let us not forget that. Finally, day one we are born. Whether you're born in the West, whether you're born in East, whether you're born in the North Pole, South Pole, wherever you're born, we're all born with one thing in common. That I don't want suffering, I want happiness. This is the commonality. There's no difference in the race, in the religion, in the gender, in the status of your wealth, status of the community. There's no difference. We're all born same, wanting to have happiness and to shun the miseries. This is how we are born. With this in mind, let's not forget our basic aspiration. Basic aspiration is to get rid of these pains and to acquire the happiness. This is a basic aspiration. So be kind to yourself means try to accomplish what you aspire, to get rid of your suffering and acquire happiness. Do that. Number one. Number two, be wisely kind to yourself. Means do those things which will actually give rise to happiness, which will actually take away your suffering. For example, this boy who killed the driver and who ended up in prison. He was trying to be kind to himself, but he was unwisely kind to himself. So we should be wisely kind to yourself. Sometimes the societal, the cultural thinking may not be so correct. And the ordinary people's thinking, for sure is not correct. Ordinary people's thinking. For example, say when you reach the age of 16, 17, 18, and then slowly seeing your parents, slowly the fighting with your parents, speaking harshly on your parents, it's become like a norm. It's become like a norm in the society. This is just a sign of ordinariness. It has nothing good in it. It has nothing good in it. Nothing good in it. And who suffers? First, you suffer. Because whether you like it or not, you should be at home. And at home, you see your parents. And you see your husband. You see your wife. And then the moment you see this, it makes you unhappy. This is ordinary people's thinking. Whereas, initial meeting of the boys, girls, this is a different story. After meeting, after about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then this is a real test. Husband, wife, and parent, children, that is a real test. Then, the moment you wake up, you just feel like so happy to meet the other side. Husband, so happy to see the wife so happy to see the husband. And the parents so happy to see the children. The children age, say like 16, 17, 18. And the children already aged like maybe in some cases like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So happy to see the mother. I'm so lucky to have my mother with me. I'm so happy to have my father with me. Right? if this is what is happening, this is your strength. Whereas the moment you wake up, you feel so unhappy, right? Seeing your mother's face, seeing your father's face, seeing your husband's face, seeing your wife's face. This is what all the ordinary people can do. What the ordinary people can easily do, this is a weakness. What the ordinary people cannot do, that's a strength. What is that thing which the ordinary people cannot do is, the moment you wake up, somebody like age 20, let's say, a child who's age 20, 25, 30, the moment you wake up, you see your mother, Mom, I'm so happy to see you. This is so rare. This is so rare. A young child will do that. A young child age 5, 6, 7 will do that. But the moment you reach age 20 like this, and particular boys, very unlikely. Mom, I'm so happy to see you. Very unlikely. This, if you can do it, this is your strength. Because ordinary people cannot do that. Okay, these are the areas that we need to work on. In other words, we see that the self-centered attitude, this one which attracts all forms of pain, and other cherishing mind, loving mind towards others. It makes your life so easy, it makes your life so beautiful. And other people, when they go through difficulties, they will turn towards you. When you go through difficulties, everybody will immediately come to help you, automatically. Because people who are attracted towards you, they are mostly very genuine people. Okay, with this mind, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself and reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. Okay, just the opposite two. And the Buddha, the Nagarjuna, very clearly stated that the feeling of love and affection towards others, this is the one which attracts all the good qualities in you. This is one which attracts all the good qualities in you, meaning your happiness, and even the learning will take place. For example, the mother, although the mother does not know physics or does not know science, but to teach the young child, the mother will learn that, not for herself, to teach the child. So therefore, in the process, because of the love, why did she learn? How come that the mother knows physics or science at such a late age? Because she learned it. What makes her learn it at a late age? Because she has to teach the daughter or the son. Why she took such initiative? Because she loves the child. So with love, you learn so many things in life. So love and affection, the genuine love and affection, it attracts all the good qualities in you. This is what Buddha says. This is what Nagarjuna said. Okay, so with these two things, we need to think of reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. And then Bodhisattva Shantideva, he so beautifully concluded these two points by saying that whatever happiness the world has is derived through wishing happiness for others. Whatever the miseries the world has is derived through wishing happiness for oneself. A big statement, a great conclusion that he drew. Whatever the happiness the world has, whatever experience of happiness that we have, somehow they are connected with cherishing others. Whatever suffering the world has is derived through wishing happiness for oneself, which means self-centered attitude will attract only suffering, and the other cherishing mind will give only happiness to you. Okay. So when you speak about the other cherishing mind, oh wow, it's so good. Other cherishing mind has so much, it gives your life, it makes your life so easy. And it gives you such happiness. But if nothing to make others happy, no, it doesn't matter. You don't need anything. You don't need wealth, you don't need position, you don't need power to make others happy, to cherish others. Even a very genuine smile is good enough. Even a genuine smile is good enough. Even a very genuine smile. Give a genuine smile to the other person. You won't believe the reaction coming from the other side. Such a beautiful reaction will come to you. And believe it or not, say for example, at home, say the mother comes to serve you tea, and says, oh mom, no, I'll serve you tea. Just say this, which perhaps you have never said it before. For for the first time, when you go to your mom's place, when you go to your dad's place, when the mother's, oh, what shall I serve tea? What shall I serve you? Oh, mom, please, I'll do it myself. Tell me, what do you want? Just say this, believe it or not, the mother's glow is going to be different. When you see this glow, who gave this glow to the mother's face? You gave it. Because you gave it, you feel the joy inside. And the genuine love comes from your mother's face. Very genuine, pure love comes to you. And who on this earth will not appreciate a genuine love and appreciation to you? This love, the moment you feel this love inside, again your face will glow. The moment your face glows, the mother's reaction is going to be even more beautiful. Look, then the whole family is going to be very beautiful. Right? Otherwise, sometimes the mother eats the food on the table, the father eats the food on the cushion, and the son eats in the bedroom, and the daughter is in this room. Right? What is this? It's like in a hotel. It's not a hotel. Right? It's not a hotel. Okay. Are you happy? If you're happy, good, do it. If you're happy, right? Eating in the room. Right? If you're happy, wow, just do it. Right? And then you go to party, in the party also you do it. Right? Party also you do it. I like this is my hand, this is what makes me so happy. Do it. Do it. Right? Just change your thinking. It's very easy. Change your thinking. Okay. Change your thinking. How to change the thinking? The next steps. The next steps. Right? The following steps will help us. Following steps will help us. The point is that the more we think about the demerits of cherishing the self, then you really feel angry towards the self-centered attitude. What made me so incompetent? I'm not incompetent. My true nature is so competent. My true nature is so beautiful. Why this true nature is not coming out is because of the self-centered attitude. You become so angry towards the self-centered attitude. Never ever become angry towards others. If you really want to become angry towards somebody, be angry towards the self-centered attitude. This is one which is too strong in you. One. Then they say other cherishing. Don't think that, oh, I'm helping others, to help others, okay, I'm helping you. No, I'm helping others for my own benefit. The more I make others happy, I'm benefit, I become happy. Right? Thank you for giving the opportunity to serve you. It makes me happy. Mom, thank you. Right? Thank you for being there. Dad, thank you for being there. I get the opportunity to serve you. That makes me so happy. My self-centered attitude. If I learn how to serve you, then I will learn how to cooperate with other people, how to deal with other people nicely. Social emotional learning. Nowadays, this has become a very important point. SEL, social emotional learning. How to adjust your emotions so that you can be in the community with your emotions well adjusted in the community. You can learn with your parents. Right? Be kind to your parents. From this you will learn how to adjust your emotions so well. Then you go to any society, every society will welcome you. Will welcome you with respect. Whereas the fact that somebody is not respecting you, it's not 100% purely from the other side. It's also something is wrong from your side. It is not you, it is the self-centered attitude. There's nothing wrong with you. You are so pure. You have all this potential. For example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Everybody wants to see him. Everybody wants to see him. And many of us, people don't want to see us. People want to shirk us. Even if they say that I will pay you $1,000. They may come just for the sake of $1,000. The moment they get the money, they will leave. But His Holiness the Dalai Lama, everybody wants to see him. They are paying thousands of dollars to pay their flight ticket, all these things, and then get there to see him. Why? We all have the same potential. Just make this potential come out. What blocks this potential? This self-centered attitude. This self-centered attitude is so vicious, and yet We are so unwise in not identifying who is destroying us. In this world, nobody can destroy us. It is the self-centered attitude that can destroy us. Okay, so with this, point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. What is point number 4?
The suffering of others with emphasis on compassion.
Okay, point number 4, point number 5, the Sophie is expert. Sophie, you have the reason, right? Tonglen. Yes. Okay, point number 4 and 5, in Tibetan we call it Tonglen. Point number 4 and point number 5, in Tibetan we call it, together, is known as Tonglen. Tong means to give you happiness, Len is to take the suffering. Although in Tibetan it is easier to what? Utter, easier to pronounce, easier to say Tong Len. Otherwise the actual practice is Len Tong. Take the suffering, give you happiness. Okay, that is step number 4 and 5. Okay, we'll stop here. And okay, this evening, around what time?
Maybe half an hour after dinner.
Half an hour after the dinner. Half an hour after dinner, the NASA company's the documentary is very short. It's about like 10 minutes. Will be shown here in this hall. Okay. And who brought the projector? Bernard. Okay. We should be grateful to the Kalachakra Center and the Bernard for bringing all this to make this happen. I'll quickly explain what that documentary is all about. So last year it was shown, and this year again. That would be very helpful. And then it will be good to watch on a big screen. Big screen, it will have a great effect in the mind, impact on the mind. And later on, you can get a copy of that. You can get a copy. You can watch it on your own, on the iPhone, on your phone, or the laptop, whatever is fine. So it will be good to see on the big screen also. So what you will see is that it is the NASA company's the real documentation, the documentary film, a very short film. It's so starting with the foliage. Last time I told you, with the bush from the bush of foliage, meaning one leaf, and from the leaf it goes to the bush and then goes to the macro world. Okay, this part is also very beautiful. There's no harm in watching that. That will be very helpful. It will go in other ways. And then after going to the let's say to the America, then Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy, then the universe, not full universe, and then once you reach there, then you go in once more, zoom in, which is the solar system, Milky Way galaxy, what is that? Universe, Milky Way galaxy, solar system, Earth, America, then that particular lone, and then bush, then the leaf. Okay, so when it goes in reverse, that is a point where you have to focus on. So I would suggest you to focus on 3 points. One is then the leaf, just a single leaf, what that is like. Of course, you know what the leaf is. And then the leaf, then it goes down to the next. It goes how the leaf through fine-tuning electron microscope. Then how you see the demarcations of the cells, and then you go to the nucleus of the cell. Then you go into the chromosomes. Okay, another area to focus on is chromosomes. And later on, because this is what we're going to use for our meditation emptiness. Chromosomes. When you reach the chromosomes, how the chromosomes appears. Look at it like a striped brownish snakes. It's literally like a striped brownish snake. And then what is your emotion state? Repulsion. Okay, first the leaf. Okay, the leaf is more neutral, whereas then you can extrapolate it to the flowers, beautiful flowers. Instead of the leaf, you can think about the flower later on. But in this, you have to focus on the leaf, the chromosomes, and then after chromosomes, they will go into the DNA molecules. DNA molecules, then go into the individual molecules, then atoms. Then focus on atoms. What I would suggest is the leaf, chromosomes, and the atoms. 3. So these are 3 points that you need to focus on. So, same, if possible, with the leaf, instead of the leaf, if you can extrapolate it to the flowers, perception of the flower, what is your emotional reaction? Emotional reaction is appealing feeling. Then next, the chromosomes. What's the perception? Chromosomes. Very repulsive snake-like structure. What's your emotional reaction? Aversion. Next, go into the atoms. What's the perception? Perception of atoms. What's the emotional reaction? Neutral. So in other words, the same object, which is the leaf or the flower, the same object has the capacity to give rise to all 3 different emotions. All 3 different feelings, that's 3 different emotions. Feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. With a pleasant feeling, then the feeling of appealing. Very appealing emotion arises. Unpleasant feeling, aversion arises. Neutral, neutral reaction arises. Okay, so how one object, how it is not objectively real there, it is how you perceive it. Perception is purely from the subject. Because it's purely from the subject, it's not really from the object. So this is the idea. So 3 things. The leaf, chromosomes, atoms. Okay, 3 perceptions and the 3 emotional reactions. Your emotional reactions. Okay, these are 3 things that you have to keep note of, particularly you take notice, and then this is what we're going to use in a meditation. Okay.
Samgate Bodhiswa